Alright guys, it's been a long road, so I'm going to give you a shot of the truck here in a little bit, but I'm actually almost to the point where we're going to drop the motor in. So I'm going to pull the motor out here, get all the plastic off, and then we're going to start looking at it for mounting points. I think there's some rubber grommets and different things like that I still need to create where the motor mounts and all that. But I'm going to get it out. I'm going to figure out what bolts I need and all that kind of stuff, get it prepped, and this weekend we'll probably drop the motor in, so pretty excited about that. It's almost like Christmas again. Get to unwrap the motor. It's been quite a few months since I got to see this. Alright, so main thing I'm going to do now is wow, it's still got a lot of dust on it, even being covered up. That's weird. I had it covered up really good. It's definitely got a ton of dust on it. That's what I was trying to avoid. But anyway, it's not super bad. So, yep. So we're going to take a look at the mounting points, because I think right here on both sides is where it mounts to the truck, on the bell housing there, and then you got these two points down here that mount up front. So I just want to make sure I've got the bolts ready and everything, so that when we do put it in, we can bolt it down right away. Tranny is ready. I'll probably I don't know yet. I might mount that after we do the motor. Haven't really decided yet, but it just bolts right up here. I might just wait and do that once it's actually in the truck, so it's less weight and bulk to try to get plugged into the frame. But here's the frame. So wheels are fully mounted. One thing that's pretty interesting is you'll see that grease around that zert right there. I've been pumping that knuckle full of grease, and it took an entire tube of grease plus maybe an eighth of another tube, and I'm still not full. So I gotta go buy like 3 more tubes of grease, and I'll continue pumping them in the top until they come out this bottom grease zert right there where the hole is. I took the grease zert out, and got brake lines sort of started. I'm just waiting on a couple parts, and then I'll have this brake line mounted, because I want to mount it before I put the engine in. It'd be a lot easier than trying to work underneath the engine. I got the main brake line running all the way to the back. The back brake line is mostly mounted. I'm just waiting on one fitting over here on the driver's side, and then I've got this fitting done there. I'm not going to clamp them down or tighten anything until everything's loosely in place. And then I've got a bracket that I painted, and I'm waiting for it to dry, that just mounts right up here. where that line goes to, and then it connects to the main line here. Like I mentioned before, the other cap that goes here for the transfer case, I painted it. I got it finally, but I cleaned it up, painted it. So tomorrow I'll get that put together, and then I can finally put drive shafts on. That'll be cool. So I'll be able to get the drive shafts on tomorrow. And yep, so that's where we're at. So as soon as I get that brake line there in the front mounted, and I get the bolts ready for mounting the motor, then I'm going to drop the motor in. That's going to be a big moment. Okay, today's the day. I'm going to give you one more quick walk around before we drop the motor in. So I got the brake lines mounted, and they are all tightened down. Everything's tightened down. It's pretty much an entire closed system at this point, all the way up to the point where it would connect to the master cylinder. So that's where the master cylinder will go. I'll pull that out before we put the motor in. I'll pull steering box off before we put the motor in. But front brake lines, everything's tightened down. Nice and solid. Everything's good. Both sides. I was kind of hoping to paint some of the, you know, like the gold colored and silver colored stuff, like these deals here, and the nuts and bolts and stuff like that. And I did get a couple things painted, but it's so cold out right now. The cold weather finally hit, so there's snow outside. We got about 4 or 5 inches, so it's going to be a cold job putting the motor in. But then I'll shut the garage door again once the motor's in, and turn the heater back on. But drive shafts are fully mounted. Everything's done. We're ready to go. Motor's sitting right there. I got to put the little upper motor mount in, which I just went and got some nuts for. This is the upper motor mount. I'll show you how it goes in. Goes right in there, right in between those two pieces. So that's just smashed down right now, real tight, but that'll go right up in there. Once we lift the motor up, I'll let that drop down, and I'll put the motor mount in. And so, yep, I think that's pretty much it. That's a quick walk around. I did grease that driver's side knuckle, a steering knuckle. I'm going to grease this knuckle probably later today. But it's pretty crazy. It's a big cavity in there, and it took probably 1.5, almost 2 full large size tubes of grease. So I was sitting there pumping and pumping and pumping, and it finally filled all the way up. So yeah, they hold a lot of grease. But yeah, I was really hoping to paint some of this stuff green so that it's not just sitting there flashy like that. But the problem is, it's just too damn cold. The paint just starts to gum up as soon as I start painting. So unfortunately, it's going to be a pain in the ass to get around the motor once it's in here. Once the weather warms up and I start getting in here to try to paint some of the shiny stuff. But not much I can do about it at this point, so shortly we will be installing. Hi, Aaron. I tried to do some research and I didn't see. A little more. Well, maybe not. Yeah, still a little bit more, I think. Get this over.
That went real smooth.
Yeah. Didn't have any obstacles.
And the cherry on top.
Did you find these? No.
Alright, you can get your exhaust ram.
Yep.
I mean, in all reality, you put a lawn chair on it and you can damn near drive it.
Yeah. That's what that parts and restoration guy was doing when he was testing out his brakes and everything. He put a bucket up here and shit fell over when he was going down out of his garage and it kind of went down into the street, so it was like starting to haul ass and his bucket fell and he's trying to hit the brake. Finally he got on the brake and it's like I think the camera caught it. I think we got it on camera, but
Well,
this thing only
it was so smooth. You want to do it again?
it only says 5 minutes and 38 seconds. But I started it before we started, so it took us longer than 5 minutes.
Did it?
We're hitting the drive shaft with the jack.
Alright, you're going to want to go get your shoes on.
I know.
Hold the tranny and pull it back. I'm going to drop it down again,
Okay.
and then we'll move the jack toward you. Should be good there. Good?
Yep. Popped out. We're gonna have to pull this off, and you're gonna have to put this drive shaft up as a unit. Take these ones out, bolt it all up at once.
Really? Because we got a long ways to go in there still. We just got to get it up higher. Right?
We gotta lift up those. Yeah.
Gonna move the and pull it out for now, and then try to get it in. Or is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on. It's out.
This has to come up. Let's throw that in. Keep it in here. I know. Pull it back a little. Oh, too much. Oh. Alright, look front up. Get you in.
I'll get the badge. You get the front.
Lift it up. In front.
Need to spin the gears.
Yeah, no. Come back. This thing's all.
That paint's probably.
Yep.
We'll get the bolts started.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are those? Bigger than 3/4, aren't they?
Oh, it's my baby 11. 16.
Oh. The kids are getting rowdy. So close. Got it.
Oh, fuck.
Have to jack around up and
Get this
or
going
roll it.
neutral.
Oh, yeah.
Going straight. All the way in. I gotta get this bottom one before you go all the way. Where was it? Here, we want on it. Right.
Was it?
Okay. Transmission's fucking driving me nuts.
Sweet, I'm glad that went out. Stay there.
Alright, fine, whatever. I don't need help anyway.